Hello everybody, welcome back to another edition of the EcoStruxure Machine Expert Training. I'm your host Leandro Ahumada, and in this video we're gonna see how we can communicate our PLCs with the ATB320 that we have over Modbus TCP. So let's go to the software. Okay, so in my project what I'm going to do is to create, I'm going to add the Modicon M262, and I'm going to use the Ethernet port 2 to communicate with the ATB320. Maybe you don't know, but the ATB320 doesn't have Ethernet port, so we need to add a communication card in order to have Modbus TCP or Ethernet IP on the device. Okay, so I have already configured that, and I have already put that in the ATB. So the Altivar that is over here, okay, that one, okay, has the IP address being 192.168.135, if I'm not wrong, this one, okay, and the PLC has the 162, okay. So what I'm going to do is to communicate both of them. So now let's go to the software Machine Expert so I can show you what I got. Okay, so the first thing that we need to do is to add the device. In my case, I have this motion controller, but you can use anyone with the Ethernet. Got this one. Just wait for this to finish. Okay, and close this part. Okay, so the first thing that I want to do is to configure the communication port that I have in my case. So I'm not going to use the serial line, so I'm going to delete this part. On the Ethernet port 1, I have already something already configured. Okay, 262, 255, 255, 255, and in my case I'm going to enable this. In yours you will need to check what you need to have. Okay, 192.168.1 gives it the address that you want, 62, and then 255, 255, 255. Okay, so far here what I have done is to configure just the port of the PLC that I'm going to download. Okay, but what we need to do now is to add the logic. In order to control the drives over Modbus TCP, Ethernet IP, or CANopen, we have two libraries. We have the library GIPLC, and the other one is called GIATB. Those libraries allowed us to easily control the drive. Okay, so I'm going to show you two ways or easily connect and control the drive. So let's go to the software. So the first way to do this is to go into your application tree, and then you just need to right click and add function from template. So here you need to name the drive that you want to use. So I'm going to use device drive Modbus TCP. Here you need to select the function template. You can see there are a few of them. Okay, in our case I'm going to use Modbus TCP, and you can see all the devices that we have the template. In my case I'm going to use the ATB320, so I'm going to select OK. Here you will need to select the field bus master that I don't have anything, so my bad on this one. Let me just go back over here. On the device tree, okay, on the Ethernet port 2, I want to define like an IO scanner. Okay, so what I need to do is to add that, the Modbus TCP IO scanner. This is the master I was missing. Okay, so in this way, the Ethernet port 2 is going to scan the network based on the device that I'm going to configure now. So let's go back to the application tree, right click, add function from template. The device, it will be the device drive Modbus TCP. The name can be the one that you want, it doesn't matter. Okay, I'm going to select the Modbus TCP ATB320 underscore Modbus TCP. So okay, and you can see here that I have selected master. Okay, this is what I was missing before. It's not enough to configure the Ethernet port 2. You will need to define the way of the communication that you want to have. So let's go back. Here you can assign the IP address for the ATB320. In my case, it's the 35, which is the one I have connected over here. 35, okay. And here is the optional, okay, so you can connect like external part just to identify if that the drive is already ready to work. I'm not going to use it, okay, but you can if you want. So okay, once we click on OK, let's see what we got in the software. In the software, we have this folder, which is the same name that we have for the drive that we have already configured. Here you can see a GBL with some data, okay. So this is of the commands or variables that we can use if we want to connect this to, for example, an HMI. We can share this to an HMI, so we can easily have the total integration of our application to another system. So let's go back here. So in this POU has some actions, as you can see over here, okay. And for example, in this case, the first one is the one to check the communication that you have, okay. Based on the status of the actual drive in the network, that will allow you to continue and make the process to control the drive, okay. So all this is already done. If we continue with this, you can see that you have the control ATB, okay, the action number 2, and here you have all the function blocks. You can see here the library is GIPLC dot, and then you have different function blocks, okay. You have the power, so in this case, in order to activate the drive, you will need to power the drive, okay, and then you will need to make the movement that you want. You have the jog, you have the move velocity, so you can play with that. And if you take a look, you have all the variables already created, so you can share the GBL with the HMI or in your own logic to make the logic to turn on the drive. And then you have the MC stop and also the possibility to reset. So the GIPLC, you have these different function blocks that allow you to easily control the drive, okay. But this is not everything that this template does. We're gonna see that now, okay. Okay, you also have the configuration ATB, okay, in case you want some parameters, okay, additional parameters, the detection of the errors. Okay, so this is for the logic for you to control the drive. So I'm going to close this part. Now, if we go to the device tree, what we see here is the drive that we're going to use, okay. You can see here the configuration, okay. And here, if you want more information, we have the IO list, okay, so we can configure that part. Now, what we got here is something that we need to check. Is in the My Controller here is the Ethernet services Ethernet 2, okay. We need to be careful here because even if you assign the IP address, okay, you will need to check in the Ethernet port or the Ethernet service that you have in there, which is or how the PLC is going to read or share information with the drive. By default, everything is going to be DHCP. So I have already configured the drive to be a fixed IP. Okay, so if I try to connect this software, this application, and download it to the controller and try to connect with the drive, we are not going to see anything, okay? Because in the software, okay, in the M262, in the service Ethernet 2, is configured as DHCP. So we need to change that to fixed. You can see here, fixed, this one is great. And now the PLC is going to pay attention only to the to the IP address. That's something that you need to check. And if I'm not wrong, if you are working with the M251, you already have in a different way this. Okay, so let's continue. Okay, so this is done. Okay, so now what we can do is to show you. Let me just open SOMOVE. Okay, you can use the internal configuration, okay, of the drive. Okay, here, here to upload from the device, but I'm going to show you how you can do it using the other tool. So here, this is the SOMOVE edit connection, just to show you the difference. So I'm going to scan the network. This one is the 3.5. Scan network. Already here. Double click, access to this. Okay, and proceed. Just wait for this to finish. This is just to show you the I/O profile, the I/O variables to easily exchange information to the controller. So here in the parameters, what we got is network. This is the configuration of the drive. Let me see. 3.5. Okay, so here, this is the configuration that I got on the drive. Okay, I have already configured this. Okay, it had some differences. Okay, it start with, for example, instead of the frequency, it had the velocity, and instead of the frequency, it had velocity here to right. But if you disable this part, you can start adding more information. So this is the information you can configure here on the PLC in the drive to see that on the here. Okay, to see it on the I/O mapping. Okay, this is what you can configure on the device. So now what we're going to do is to directly connect to the drive to read information. So what I'm going to do is to log out from here, disconnect. But before disconnecting, let me just check something. Load from the device, because I think that the IP address was different. Let me just check. 35. Looks like it has a number 2 here. Network fix IP. Let me just double check. Because I believe I changed that. I'm going to disconnect from the controller, going to power off. Okay. -T. Okay, just wait for this to finish. Power on again, just wait for this. And I'm going to check the IP address once again. There we go. I have changed the IP address and I didn't power cycle the drive. So if you check now, 3 is not working. Okay, so what I need to do is to change that on the software. Okay, so it doesn't have this IP address I have configured over here. It has the number 232. Okay, now we should be able to connect with the drive. So let's download this application to the PLC. So if we go to my controller, here, communication settings, we have this one already connected over here. Alt F, Strator, administrator. Okay, that is the drive. So let's connect to the PLC and see what is the behavior. Okay. Okay, let me see. Must not be in the same network. And it's totally right. This one is the 2. This one is the 1. My bad. I'm trying to do this thing fast. So let's download again. So the M262 has 2 networks. Okay, the Ethernet 1, I want it in the network 192.168.2 and the other one .1, and I put the same on the network. That's why that was the problem. Let's see if there is something else. I believe I need to change something else here. Okay, here is the network for the COM3, which is the TM, the COM bus. Okay, communication bus. I'm going to change that. So now we should be able to download the PLC information satisfactorily. Okay, let's download again. Okay, the PLC now is in stop. So I'm going to make it run. Okay, and you can see now here in the list that we have the drive that is connected. Okay, so you can see on the drive that you have the NST over there. Okay, so now what we can do is to try to control it. So as you can see here, the mass is already calling this this PRU. So if we go to control ATB, we should be able to make the power. You should be able to see this changing. Okay, an error. Okay, so we have an error over here. 109. If I'm not wrong, what we can do is to reset it. Okay, it's done. Okay, now we can start again. Power. As you can see here, it's in run. Okay, so what we need to do is to move the drive. So in this case, I'm sending the velocity in hertz. So what I can do is to change this to, for example, 10 hertz. There should be 100. Okay, going to change this. Force, and now here I need to drive the drive. Okay, let's go. And let me just double check if I don't have nothing on the motor. Okay, good. And there we go. So you can see here the 10 hertz. So this way you can easily control the drive. Okay, let me just. So in there you can see the motor. Okay, and if I don't want this to move again, I just need to stop it over here and stop. And if I want to run it again, okay, just run it once again. And if I want, I can change the speed over here. Let's try 20 hertz. Okay, there we go. And I believe in order to change that, I just need to execute over here. So let me try it again. Okay, let's try 25 hertz. This one is just a pulse, so we just need to execute. Now, if I write the new value, it's gonna be 25. You can see there that is moving fast. Let's try 5 hertz. Okay, so this is how you can easily integrate the drive, okay, in your project using the function template. And when you use the function template, you have the GIPLC library in order to do that. So now what I want to show you is that you can do the same but using the other library, which is the GIATB. So let's go to do that. But first, let's stop the drive, otherwise we're gonna have the noise in the background. So let me just stop it over here. Stop it, and then I'm going to remove the power up here. Okay, good. Stop. Okay, you should have a trigger over here, okay? But in this case, I'm just testing this with you. So now we just disconnect from here. Okay, let's go to software. Now, let me just close all the windows that we have over here. So the other way to add into our project the drive, okay, if you're using this ATB220 or another one, is to go over here, right click, okay, and here, right click in the master that you have, okay, and add device from template. But for that, it is important to define, okay, a POU. So what I'm going to do is to add a new POU. Here in the POU, what I'm going to do is to add the name of the POU. In this case will be device drive Modbus TCP2 program, and I'm going to use continuous function chart. Okay, so add. So as you can see now, this is totally empty. What I can do now is to go back again into the device tree, select the IO scanner that I have, and then right click. Once you make right click, we just need to add device from template. Here we can specify the device name, so I'm going to use device drive Modbus TCP2. It doesn't need to be the same as the POU, it's just something that I want to do now. Here you have different ones. You have antivirus Modbus TCP and this one with the BSU. The difference between these two is that the BSU add additional call so you can use the visualizations, okay? But I'm going to use this one or this one. Okay, let me just show you the visualization. Okay, we're going to use this one. Here you can also see that we have additional information for the other drive, so the process is the same. Add. Here I need to specify the IP address. I'm going to use the A33. Okay. Here I need to select the program. I'm going to select this one, the one I have already added. Okay. Then the system add into the POU that I have already created, okay, the device, okay. This is what it does. And I haven't changed the name of the drive, okay. But this is what it does, okay. As you can see, we have more information because I add into here, okay, the possibility to use the visualization. And if we go to tools tree, you can see over here that it adds this control ATB, okay. And here you can see there is another library. It's not the same as the other one. This one is GIATB. And if we go back over here, it uses the GIPLC. So we have two different ways in order to control our drives. So let's go back here. Okay, so this should be already ready to connect. Okay, what I'm going to do now is to change the IP address of the device. So let me just go over here. 33 Steve. Okay, so let me just go into the I have this one. I'm not sure if you can see it. Let me just check. Let me just close this. Control C. Okay, let me just change the view. Okay, so I have this is the other one. So I can go over here, and I don't think you can see too much, but there's another way instead of using the embedded display. Okay, application, communication card. I'm going to change this to fixed IP address. Here, I'm going to change this to 3. Okay. Now you can see that I have a different IP address. Okay. Now what I need to do is to power off and power on again the drive in order to make it work. Okay. So let me just stop this a few moment. I'm going to power cycle this. Power off. Just wait a few minutes. If you have a bigger drive, probably you will need to do this with more time. Okay, I find around in the manual it tells you how much you will need to wait for this. So I'm going to power it on again. Okay, hopefully we should be able to ping the drive. Okay, and there we go, it's back to life. So should validate that we have the connection with the drive. Now I'm going to close this part. The other thing that we need to do here is we need to specify, okay, on the my controller that is not going to be DHCP. So Ethernet 2. Remember this part is going to be fixed. Okay, so let me just change the view here. By default is DHCP. Okay, and now what we need to do is to select fix. What I'm going to do now is to show you the drive, the status. Let me see. Now it's in NST. Okay, so let's try to download once again the application to the controller. Okay, it's the controller. I believe I know forgetting about anything, so let's download again. Okay, download. And play. You can see over here this device, which is the second one. Okay, it has the visualization, is connected to the PLC. And something that I forgot that is a common mistake is that once you add the POU in the program, you sometimes forget to call in the must, and that is something that happened to me just right now. So applications drag into our must the drive, okay, or the program that contains the drive. So then you should be able to see what's going on with the GATP. So I'm going to download it. Okay, trying to connect. Let's create an online change. Okay, for this one. Okay. Compile errors. Do you want to continue? Nope. Let's see what do we got. In and out. Okay. Because this one haven't changed the name of here. I'm going to rename it. Probably was something I didn't touch, but you should have rename it. This one to the name that I want. Okay. Yes. To not support option word, skip it. Okay. It doesn't allow me to do it. Okay, so let's try a different way. I don't know what I have done wrong. So I'm going to delete all this, destroy the added, and I'm going to delete this part. Let's try it again, because it's obviously a program I have done. So add program PUU, define again the device. So it's going to be device drive Modbus TCP 2. Okay, this is the device that I want. It's going to be CFC. Okay, add it. Now here we just need to open this device from template. The device name is going to be this one, TCP2. Select from template this one with the VSU. I believe it's already created the VSU with that one. Device template 33. And I believe the problem is because they have the same name. Let's see what happened. Already existing. Okay, my bad. Over here. Okay, so let's try over here. So device name is going to be drive Modbus TCP 02. TCP 02. Device template, this one with the VSU. The IP address 33. Here we need to select the program, Modbus TCP, and then OK. So now you can see that the name is the same. Okay, this is how it should be done. I don't know what I have done before. And here you can see this axis, the drive, is the same as the drive instance that I have over here, that you're going to have all the information from the GAATB. So this is already done. Okay, this is the IP address. The other thing that we need to check is in here in the services, in the Ethernet services, Ethernet 2. Okay, it's checked, it's fixed, that is good. So now should be able to connect to the M262. Okay. Hopefully no errors. Okay. We need to download again the application because we have modified the hardware, if I'm not wrong. Okay. So we have the communication now with the other PLC, with the other drive, you can see over here, which is the second one, with the IP address 33, which is the one that I added. Here, we should be able to, again, I forgot to call it. We have downloaded. Now we should be able to see the variables that we want, that I wanted to show you of the drive. Okay, you can see now we are online with the GAATB. Now, if I show you the drive, okay, is in RNF, so we have an error. So the best thing to do here, let me see if I can reset it. Okay, just hold on. Here we have two. This one came from the one from the FB control drive, came from the one that I have on the visualization, okay, which is this one, okay, and this one over here, the XCMD, came from the GBLs or the drivers inside the PUU. Okay, so now if I enable this, should be able to have an alarm or something. You can see we had an alarm. Now if I reset this, you can see the drive is in ready. Now I want to send the velocity here into 10 Hertz. Okay, this is the input for the velocity. Now what you need to do is to change this forward and reverse. So forward, this is the forward, no, my bad. The other one here, this is the forward. Why it doesn't move? It should be moving now. Isn't ready. It's the set point. And I forget to change this. Okay, so let's go again. There we go. It's running. So in my case, as I'm not using any logic in order to activate the GATB, okay, I left everything in true. That's why those mistakes over there. But let's see what happened when I, instead of using this, okay, I'm going to, this one should be on. Going to, instead of using this, I'm going to use the visualization. Okay, so in order to change the visualization, what I'm going to do is to change the view so you can see the motor. Okay, so that's the motor. Now I should be able to enable the visualization, as you can see over here. Let me just put this in the vertical tab so you can see all this. So I'm going to enable. Okay, now I should be able to select the frequency that I want. Okay, now should be going forward. Should be able to change the speed. Okay. To drive. Should also be backwards. This one, probably something here in the drive, in the visualization, but this one is not typing the information over here. So if we change this from here, 25 hertz, and change this, it takes the value. Okay, so it's something here. Going forward, 1 to 0. Okay, you can see over there that I control the drive. So what we have done here is to easily integrate the drive into our project. So you need to pay attention in the names that you add, and also if you add the POU in the mass, as you saw, it happened to me 2 times. So you need to remember that you create, you need to call it the mass. So we saw that we have 2 ways of doing this. We can use the GAATB, as you see over here, okay, or we can, let me show you this one. We have these 2. Okay, we have the GAATB control, that's just one block with everything in there, or we have the GAPLC that you have different commands in order to control the drive. And there's 2 different ways also to work with this. You just go over here in the application tree in order to add the device, the function template, or you can go over here in order to add the device template in the IO scanner that you have. Okay, we have the same process can be done from the ATB320, ATB340, or for the ATB process. The process in order to add in the logic is the same. What it's probably going to change is in the visualization that you have on the DTM for in the SOMOP or inside the is the same. Okay, and you can see it's very simple once you have already configured the drive, the AP network, and it's easily to integrate in the system. Okay, so thank you very much for watching this video, and I see you on the next one.